This meeting is being recorded.
All right, everybody should have heard the little prompt that the video is being recorded. Welcome to the February 2024 Greater Rochester Area Camera Club critique on the rule of odds. So excited to have all of you guys here tonight. What did we say? I just already forgot how many images. 13?
16.
16
Yep.
images. We're going to go over the procedures for how we're going to run the critique in a few minutes, as we're going to slightly change the way we've done things in the past. But before we do that, we'll do some little bit of housekeeping. I heard when I had jumped back in, when I lost some internet, that we were discussing the outing. So we want to give a big thank you to Scott for a successful trip to the Nubble to photograph the Milky Way. Scott, thank you so much. I'm not sure if you were able to hear the kind words people were saying about you.
They're all lies.
You made sure every single one of us left there with a good image, Scott. It was amazing.
Well,
Kudos.
thanks. That's what I wanted to try and do, so I'm glad it worked out.
It did.
Well done, Scott.
I missed it. I just couldn't do it this time. Cold weather in the middle of the night, tough for me.
It wasn't that bad, honestly.
It really wasn't. I mean, it was early, but it wasn't that bad.
What
Yeah.
was the temperature?
Cold.
17.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I was in
there
my
was no
bed.
wind. There was no wind, so it wasn't bad.
I mean,
It
if you
was
dress,
It was
cold.
cold.
It was cold.
It was cold.
But it was an experience.
Correct.
We'll take a trip this summer, and you guys will be like, "It's hot." Asked
Yeah.
Jared. He was lobster color after that trip. So thank you very much, Scott, for leading that, and it sounds like everybody had a great time. We are working on getting an outing to the greenhouse.
Yep.
Lisa is going to stop by this weekend, and unless Jared has already had an opportunity to do that,
I have not.
that's okay.
Oh.
So stay tuned for some updates, and we will get that out to you as soon as we get confirmation that it's a go. It'll just be an opportunity. We'll follow up. Oh, well, it was supposed to follow up creativity with Jean Wozniak, but we had to move her presentation. So it's going to be on creativity, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double check. Speaking of outings, we have not done a really great job about having people sign waivers, which is something the Camera Club put forth quite some time ago. So when you are coming to meetings, we're going to start collecting signed waivers that just gives permission for you to go on outings with Scott in the middle of the night. And if you get injured, you're not going to be suing the Camera Club because we don't have any money. But it's for your safety and our safety as well. Let's see. We are looking to grow our leadership team.
We want to do waivers that they're not liable if Scott takes some out of 3 far from when we get hurt.
No, I don't think that's
If
for
we
me.
need to take us, no matter what.
So we're looking to grow the membership, the leadership team, and the person we're looking for would be on the outings committee. Lisa kind of stepped into an administrative role with some accounting, and then Jacob stepped up into vice president. So we are without 3, which is what we typically have on our outings committee.
Okay, cool.
And it would just be to kind of brainstorm ideas of places we can go, help organize it. The whole leadership team works together to get the event going. With Amanda and I do the flyers, and we send out reminders and emails to let you guys know what's happening. So if you're interested, I'll be sending out a questionnaire form maybe during the meeting tonight. And if you can just get back to us, letting us know if you have any interest, that would be great. And then the last thing is speed learning is happening next month. And it's a pretty different approach to any conference probably most of you have ever been to. So I have this quick little slideshow I'm going to show you. And then I'm also going to email that out. So let me do a quick screen share. Let's see. Does it look like it says Greater Rochester Camera, March 24 speed learning?
Yes.
That's what you think? Perfect, okay. All right, so this is just going to explain to you, this is actually images from a speed learning event from 2019, so it's been a hot minute since we've done a speed learning event in this format, but we're excited. So this is an unstructured event that's going to happen in March, and it's an opportunity for you to get together and meet with like-minded people and have conversations about things that are important to you, that you have questions about or want to learn more information about. Kind of like speed dating. It's a quick process, 15-ish minutes at each station. So it's a participant-driven event. So this image is how it started. Ahead of time, the people's names at the top had agreed to do a mini presentation, as you can see, for 20 minutes on one of those topics that are in pink. As people came in during the evening, they chose to sign up for pink ones as well. That means they were willing to teach a class or a little session, not really teaching, it's a conversation. And then they put those on the table. You could choose to pick up a pink post-it note and say, hey, I'm willing to lead a discussion on that. I know a little bit about macro photography. I could talk about that. And so you could put that up there with your name, and then it would be that you would help facilitate the conversation on that topic. So it sounds a little confusing. That's a little bit more of a close-up of the things that people have offered. So you'll see Steve Brown's in there with cover bridges, which I had mentioned at the previous meeting. And then you'll see that there's other people who put up things that they want to learn about. Filters is up there again. We do have somebody who's willing to teach filters this time. These are some of the topics that are already people have offered to cover. So we have Sean Pierce doing off-camera lighting. He might be willing to do more than one session. Nikki French, who I'm not sure, she hasn't been attending very many meetings recently. She's been pretty busy, but she's making time to come. So we're pretty excited to see her next month. And marketing yourself, which was a question that was posed on the Facebook page. Steve Brown's going to teach us how to walk us through the process of silking your water, making it smooth and silky. Cher is going to do filters, and I am willing to talk about macro photography. So those are some of the things that are coming up for speed learning. And at the end of that little tiny presentation is a walkthrough of a video that's meant for educators, but it'll show you the process on how the evening will flow. Super low pressure. It's just a fun kind of networking opportunity. And then some people will have a plan. Like I know that Sean already is thinking through like how he wants to do some off-camera flash. Anybody have any questions about that? All right, perfect.
Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting.
Thank you. It's different for sure. All right, so we are just about ready to jump into our critique. And like I said before we started, it's a little bit different than we've done in the past. So this month's critique was the rule of odds. When the photo goes up, we're going to let the creator have about 30 seconds to explain their photograph and why they chose to use the photograph they did. Sometimes we make assumptions about photographs and we shouldn't do that. So we're going to give the maker an opportunity to explain themselves. We're going to have probably 2 timekeepers because we're going to try really hard to stick to keeping on time tonight. So the speaker will have 30 seconds and then someone will interrupt you and say time. And then you'll have a maximum of 5 minutes for people to discuss your photo. In that, we're always going to start with a positive. And then towards the end, we can move to suggestions on how to improve the image. How does everybody feel about that? So a little bit different, not a whole lot different. Amanda and Lisa, are you good with dual timekeeping?
Yeah. Where's Amanda? Oh, Amanda.
Amanda.
Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay,
All
Lisa,
right.
do you want to do the 30-second timer or the 5-minute timer?
I'll do the 5-minute.
Bless your heart, because 30 seconds is about my attention span, so.
Yep, no, I'll do the 5-minute, you do the 30.
Okay.
All right. So, that
So
means
my
you both,
5 minutes starts after the 30.
nope, your 5 minutes
No.
starts as soon as the image goes up.
Got it.
All right. Are you ready? You ready, Jacob?
I think so. So all I do is just share my screen and then.
Yep.
All righty. Share screen. Share.
You may need to be the host.
Yeah, somebody
you
else was the
permission.
host.
I gave him permission.
Yep, I gotta.
It popped up that Thomas Fleury was the host, which was, I thought, weird.
Oh, that's good. So it should be a green button at the bottom of your screen with an arrow up.
Yeah, I gotta do my system preferences. So there we go. That's all right. So I have to quit and reopen. That's awesome. Well, let's try. Uh,
There we go.
Alrighty.
You can see it. Perfect.
Okay, so.
So back to number one.
Ooh,
So this one is Lisa.
wait a minute, I got push start. Okay, 30 seconds. So I looked at this picture just because it was a pretty picture, not anything to do with odds. We were out to dinner in Massachusetts, and I just loved all the sailboats and the sun was starting to set. And then the longer I looked at the picture, the more I realized it was the rule of odds 2 different ways. So that's why I submitted this picture. It did not start out as being a rule of odds. It started out as just a picture. Okay, I'm done.
You definitely followed the rules that counted.
Yeah, I love the color in the sky.
It's a lovely picture.
Mm.
What
Yeah,
part of
I'm
Florida was this?
Excuse me?
What part of Florida was it?
It wasn't Florida, it was Massachusetts.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We were at Belle Isle Seafood in Winthrop, Mass in the beginning of February, and there wasn't a boat covered up. They were all looked like they were just ready to go.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Go out. Yeah, unfortunately, I had no tripod. It was handheld. There's a lot of noise, but it was the beginning of sunset, and from that point on, it just took off. I've never seen a sunset over the city of Boston, which is off to the right,
Yeah.
like there was that night.
Are
Beautiful.
you going to print this?
Probably not, because there's a lot of noise in it. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet why.
Now, when you say noise, what do you mean by that?
Because it's slow shutter speed, and I had to crank my ISO up because it was getting dark out, and I didn't have a tripod, so I had to get my shutter speed fast enough to take the picture handheld.
Okay,
So,
thank
Are you
can I
looking
hop-
at Horizon? Who's looking at Horizon?
It's
Jacob.
Jacob.
Okay,
Jacob, you
so
can see your
Jacob,
mouse moving around.
I
Yeah,
made
so-
a decision on that to make
ahead,
the
Sam.
boat straight, not the horizon.
Oh no, I wasn't looking at the horizon. My tablet is moving around. So
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because
Yeah,
the
so I'm-
horizon is a little off center.
I was gonna talk a little bit more about the noise, just for anyone who may not be familiar with it. When you look at noise in a photograph, it's what it is it's the digital pixelation. So if you look up in like the sky, and you can see how there's a little bit of like fuzziness, like grain in an old photograph. That's what they call noise on a digital print. And a lot of times it doesn't print when you go to print it. So that's a benefit to it, but it's just the pixels are so close together and the changing colors, it sometimes makes it look fuzzy for anyone who isn't unfamiliar with what noise looks like.
Thank you.
If I have a question, were you standing on another dock when you took this?
I was standing on a stationary dock, not floating.
What I think would have made this just a bit better. I know you were struggling for, getting the handheld shot. If you had literally put your camera on the dock, gotten it nice and low.
Yeah.
One, the dock is your tripod. And two, if you could have gotten a lower perspective to get those boats up so that they're more in front of that busy background,
Mm-hmm.
I think that could have
Yeah.
made this
Yep.
a ton better. It's
Yep.
great as it is, but just a little perspective shift to change things around could have really
Yep.
changed it.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I could have too. I could have done that.
Did you
I think
get
I
up?
could have. I know. I think
Could you
I
have
could
gotten
have.
back up?
Excuse me?
Could you have gotten back up?
Of course I could have. No problem.
Not
But
And-
but as I said, I took it not even thinking this is what it was. And then I started counting and I had 9 boats. I have 9 masts. So
Mhm.
look at that.
And if your camera is set up in a way that like setting it down on the ground wouldn't give you a level view, you can always use the old makeshift tripod of something like a coat or a purse.
We'll take your
Yeah.
shirt off.
Yeah. I've done it on rocks before and stuff like that too.
Cool.
Now, when you were telling her to put it on the dock to get more of, do you mean more of the water showing or just a whole different angle?
So if she had gotten the camera lower, closer to the water, that would have brought it would have compressed that line of the boats and the woods in the background, so that the boats would have been more distinct, I think, from
Yep.
that background
Yeah,
noise
'cause
and the other
yeah,
docks.
it would have got rid of the whole background of all the houses and the trees because it would have been a lower
Prominent,
perspective.
the would have been more prominent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
Yep. My 5 minutes are up too.
Good job, Lisa.
I
Thank
like
you.
it.
Great job, Lisa.
Yeah, thank
Mhm.
you. As I said, it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the sunset was just beautiful. I'll post a picture of the sunset. I'd never seen anything that bright before.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
Nice.
Next up, we have Elaine Boyd.
Wow, very nice.
So this is one of my photography hobbies is I have several lens balls. And this was the first rule of odd that I thought of doing. I had another inspiration last night, but I didn't have the raw materials to do it. So I have a black dowel that I have some LED lights strung up on, and just had some fun with the lights and the 3 balls. I did try 3 different arrangements. I had them going from biggest to smallest.
30 seconds.
Oof.
Hi, puppy.
And I thought this was the best lighting in there. And then I really did like that arrangement.
Very nice.
Yep.
Agreed. Yeah.
Very creative. Beautiful.
What color are the balls normally?
They're clear, so they're actually clear crystal ball, and I use them to do sunset photos, scenery photos. They are a lot of fun to use, but doing the light painting, I have a black background, and I had a separate piece of fabric that I was using as my ground there, and yeah, and the LED lights, I can pick whatever color I want them to
So
be.
those lights were moving at the time you took the shot?
Yep.
What's causing the absence in the middle? Because I see 3 Alfred Hitchcocks.
I was gonna say, it looks like a person.
So here's my
Okay.
my LED. There's like 2 different sets of lights on there, and basically I had my camera on the tripod and just kind of swung this around, and it's just the way that the light reflects and the lens balls that it did that. So basically where I started and where I stopped is where you see the 2 lines and the arc there in the balls.
I like it. It's unique.
Yes,
How long
it
is this exposure?
Lovely.
It was about, I want to say 3 seconds, maybe. It was pretty quick, 3 or 4 seconds. It was.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very
that's-
neat. I think she's frozen.
You all are giving me some great ideas to appropriate and bend to my own creative vision. Thank you
Fantastic.
for this, Elaine.
I
So a
like it.
question I have is, do you ever have problems where if you move your light stick too fast that your lines turn into dashes?
I think she's frozen, which is such bad timing.
I would
Yeah.
think that if it was flashing, it would do the, like you said, the breaks in the lines with the
Yeah.
light painting. I think that would happen, you know, even if she was moving them back and forth, you would see right, you know, where it was flashing.
Yeah. So for
Please
anyone
fix-
who's looking to do something like this, you have to pay attention to the LEDs that you're getting, because an LED works on a flashing basis. It's on and off and on and off, but it's fast enough that your eyes don't register it. So if you're using an LED for something like this and you're moving it too fast, it's going to turn into dashes.
But that could be unique in its own.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, just pay attention to what kind of LEDs you're getting. I don't know the information on them, but there's some articles on it out there that I've seen.
Morse code from the great beyond, right?
Well, I thought she had used a black fiber optic. I'm not advertising for any particular company, but Light Painting Brushes has a black fiber optic and they have a white fiber optic. The black is good for just the tips, and that's what I thought she had used, you know, putting gels in.
Nope, I am much more low tech than that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a beautiful picture. I like it.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for Elaine?
Good job.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Great job.
Beautiful.
Yep. That's 5 minutes too.
All right. Next up, we have
Oh,
Thomas Mandra.
Yeah. There it is. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. You can't see me. It's just showing a blue screen up here. This is like a technological disaster, and then you'll understand. What I did here was I see all your good stuff on here every time I come, and I love it. But I just decided, well, since I know so little technically, that I'd put this up there. And when I first saw, you know, this was obviously at the meeting 2 weeks ago. And I saw that, and I saw we were going to do the food pictures with the lights and everything. And I saw this, and I said, "Oh, that'll make some good shadow and whatever." And then I saw what I took, and I said, "Well, that looks real busy and crappy." And so I did edit one of these, and I did put it on Facebook, and it looks a lot better than that. But
30 seconds.
Other times with all of your Photoshop miracles and stuff and darkroom and whatever, that you guys, while we're doing this Zoom meeting, do some incredible stuff. And I just wanted to see what people would do this. But let me ask you one question, because I really just first started shooting in RAW. And I learned that at the meeting too. And you want me to send it here in JPEG. And if I'm sending it in JPEG, why am I shooting in RAW in the first place? So I don't have to set up my lights or my settings on the type of light. I don't understand that yet. So let's start there.
Yeah,
So
Tom,
raw,
I can
we-
assist you with that one, Tom. So the reason you want to shoot in RAW is because it's all about the file size and the amount of information that you get from a RAW file. When you shoot in JPEG, what your camera is essentially doing is it's taking a smaller format with less information. When you shoot in a RAW format, essentially it's a digital negative of the photo, which allows you to perform edits on the digital platform, similar to what you would be able to do with a negative image in a darkroom. When you shoot in JPEG, the file size is significantly smaller. Your the colors that you're able to work are much more limited, and that's why you want to shoot in RAW. And then when you save an image to send to anyone, or to put on a website, you want to put that into the JPEG format so that way it can be read out by numerous different programs and printed properly as well. So when you don't want to send it in RAW to the Camera Club due to the fact that the file size is substantially larger based on your pixels compared to what a JPEG image would be, and you wouldn't be able to send that via email.
Okay,
that helps.
so I want to shoot it in RAW and edit it in RAW and then save it in JPEG. Is that correct?
That is correct.
After
Okay,
you've
now,
edited it.
I learned a lot right there. So what can we do with this? Can you Photoshop it? Because I saw somebody on there takes things and says, well, let's take this out or this or whatever. So in whatever time we have left, can we have suggestions and like fix this or no?
So what do you dislike about it that you want fixed?
It might what?
What do you dislike about it that you want fixed? So when you're saying photoshopping, that could be like, I don't like that extra little piece of candy in the right side. I want to eliminate that.
Well,
that's a really general thing. What, because we only have like 1 minute. What's something that you want feedback on?
It's like it looks too busy with all of that dark shadow there and that. So I realize we can't move things around or do miracles here, but
right.
What would you do so far as exposure and you know, making that shadow a bit less?
So in Lightroom, if Jacob wants to back out really quickly, he can show you that we can lift those shadows right inside of Lightroom.
You start by cropping all the dead space out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe center a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there we go. Pull it in from the left a little.
That's better.
Yeah.
It doesn't look so lost from the other picture.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm happy already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect. That was great timing then.
Yeah. Because that's 5 minutes right there.
Okay, so I need to get Lightroom and the other thing, Photoshop. Okay. All right, I'm good. I'm happy. Thanks, you guys.
You're welcome.
Great.
Good job.
All right. Next up, we have Deb Belanger.
So it's my time of year where I have a farm that I photograph his buckets on various different properties. I was out a couple weeks ago, got stuck in a snow squall. And a lot of the trees have either 4 buckets or 2 buckets, but these had 3. So it's like, wait a minute, I can use that for the rule of odds. So it was very simple, but 3 buckets for an odd number.
I like it that it's black and white.
And I learned some stuff last night from a very cool judge about black and whites. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is that Steve Harvey? Whose judge are you talking about?
Actually, Jared was our judge last night for the camera club.
Oh.
From Seacoast Camera Club. So.
Sorry, I ran downstairs, Deb. I was upstairs saying goodnight to Miles real quick. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no, I learned some stuff. So I put some contrast in there, Jared.
I do like the deep contrast that you have in this image. Well done. I like what you did to the other one from last night as well.
Thank you.
If I may,
Mhm.
I would have darkened this just a little bit and cropped it in on the left side, I think, just to get that tree trunk a little more centered up at the top.
And then what else did you say, Ben?
And just darken it just a little bit. I think that's what I would have done. Generally, though, it's great. I like it.
I like my images dark as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you.
What if you put
Yeah, do
a
the before
small
and after.
dark? What if you put a small dark vignette on the edges?
Well, vignettes. Mhm.
Ooh,
Yeah, draws it in.
Yeah.
draws it in.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost thinking to make it a little more square. But I don't know.
The darkness, the brightness, it's ultimately really a matter of taste. I personally find that when a black and white is too bright, it feels just too harsh.
It looks nice though.
Yeah, I like that.
Just that extra contrast really made a difference.
Lovely.
It feels like winter.
Feels like maple sugar time.
That's an awesome picture, though.
You know,
And
Deb,
what's
I
not-
almost put one in of sugary buckets and I said, nope, because Deb's gonna put one in. So I'm not doing it.
I'm still trying to decide what I want to print out for this guy, and I'll go see him. He's got some maple syrup for me, and I'll deliver him a photo again.
I like that there's a little snow on the top of the buckets and around too. So
Yeah.
you hit that just right with that snow.
Yeah. I got caught in a snow squall. Oh my gosh, it was pretty intense for a while.
Well, it was painting the picture for you.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Very, very nice.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Very New England.
Yep.
Yep.
Alrighty. Anything else for Deb?
Nice one,
Good
Deb.
job,
Yeah.
Deb.
Thank you.
And next up, we have Monique.
So food photography and lighting. I'm definitely working on lighting. So
Ooh,
whatever
yummy.
props are available. So my boyfriend had made cookies this weekend, and so I grabbed some cookies and a little tiny cutting board, which is my prop department, working on some lifting of the shadows so there's a little bit more space in between. Cookies, you know, they weren't perfect. They weren't like, you know, I didn't pick them out of the pile. I just really wanted working on the lighting.
Did you shoot that with your macro?
Did you have your camera on the table?
My camera was definitely on a tripod.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it was my macro lens or not. I want to say no, but I could be wrong.
Is that a glass of milk?
Yep.
It's actually a fake glass of milk from my studio. And I was like, we'll see how it looks in the picture in the background. And you would
Elmer's glue or something?
No, it's just, I have no idea. It's just a prop that Tanya had. So
I love that you left some crumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there used to be an even number of cookies, and she set and dropped it down to the odd number just for the photo contest.
Yep.
Hey, we all make sacrifices for
That's
our
right.
art.
The things we have to do for photography, right?
That's right.
I want a cookie now.
Same.
I'm just gonna say, bring some to the next meeting.
Coffee and a cookie.
Today I made Italian seed cookies, and that's what I photographed.
Did you put a toothpick through them or something?
I was just going to
Just
ask the
back.
same thing.
They're just balanced.
I like the balance between the second and the third cookie, like going up.
Right?
Yes, yes. There's space between it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right-hand side.
I like how you have the milk in there without, you know, just partially, but it's there and it's not stealing the scene. It's just there, so you know.
And it's out of focus.
Happy. Yeah.
It's out of focus, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Monique?
there, but it's not the main character.
Yeah.
Monique, I really like the tone of the cutting board, and the cookies are about the same. And it kind of leads you through, and then you see the milk on the back, and they come back around to the crumbs and then back up around. So it's kind of like a circular. Like it. Nice work.
Thank you. It's a nice compliment. Thank you.
I want a cookie.
The crumbs definitely lead your eye around the picture, which is nice.
Yeah.
Good
Now,
job.
did you sprinkle crumbs there?
Yeah.
Kind
yeah.
of just
I broke a
broke
cookie
up.
apart and you
Yeah,
just
okay.
really
The sixth
sprinkle it and just
cookie?
hope for the best.
There's the six.
Did you eat it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I ate it. 100%.
Of course you did.
Yeah, it was great.
I just love the simplicity of this
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the fact that you don't have the full glass of milk there, just small details so that you know exactly what it is, but you don't have to see the whole thing.
Thank you.
Now, for the glass of milk to be out of focus, did you just center on the cookies and
So I had
the
a
milk
pretty shallow depth of
automatically
field.
was out of focus?
Yep. So I probably had my focal point in the center of the middle cookie, and I was probably
Yep.
shooting at a 2.0, maybe 2.4. So, or maybe, no, it could be because the cookies are all in a straight line. So maximum it's an aperture of 4.0. So that gets me in my straight line, and the things that are behind it are all going to blur out. And my space isn't that big. It's only 3 feet.
Yeah, it's perfect how the depth of field works. So you have those not in focus crumbs right out there in the front, and then the in focus crumbs and everything, and then the milk's out of focus in the back. It's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Awesome job. I can see this on the cover of a food magazine.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see it sitting at my table.
On a cookie right now.
Yeah.
I can taste them. I can taste them. Are they chocolate chip?
Yeah.
They are chocolate chip.
They look like
I
they're
can taste them.
cinnamon.
What did you use for lighting?
I have 2 studio lights
Okay.
with soft boxes on them, and then I diffused one of the soft boxes a second time. So I had a double diffusion on one side. I'm just kind of really practicing and testing out my lighting in different angles and where to place them.
Yeah, that's a complex shot with the shadows that could have happened, so that's why I asked.
Thank you. That's got to be time for me.
That's 5 minutes.
Yep. Awesome
Good
job.
job.
Kid.
Thank you
Awesome
guys.
job.
Yeah, very nice.
That was fun.
Next up, we have Amanda's.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
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 I should probably unmute before I start talking.
Helps.
Yeah, I did a few different versions of this. There was something that I didn't like about every single one of them, so this was one of the least not bad. So have fun.
I don't know, you got a lot of oohs, so I'm going to say not very many people think it's bad.
Right.
I really like the concept on this.
Yeah, it wasn't up to my usual standard, but to be fair, I'm big on waiting till the last minute, so I just started doing this last night. That being said, there's 7 flowers, and I'm not sure if you can see them all in the photo, but there are 27 individual petals, so I stuck with the rule of odds through the whole thing. So if nothing else, I'm a rule follower.
Oh, I counted wrong. I thought I counted 28.
Did you drop
Amanda.
the petals? Is that how you do this?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you drop the petals? Like,
Yes,
they
I
look like they're
dropped.
falling.
Yeah,
I'm going to
I
disqualify you because 7 plus 27 equals 34, which is not odd.
Geez.
Oh,
That
Ben.
comment is odd, but then we'll step away from that.
Technical difficulties, right?
Now, what was the backdrop or the just a piece of black material or something, or the lighting, or just because you turned it just to be black and white?
So the flowers and the petals are laying on a fuzzy black cloth. For those of you who were at the workshop, it was the same one that the chocolate covered strawberries were
Okay.
on. So I used that as a backdrop for a lot of these things. So I didn't have anything hanging up or anything, just the cloth was on the table and the flowers were on the cloth. And I just sort of took the petals and dropped them and let them fall where they may. And so while it looks like they're falling, they were also all laying on the table.
I think
And
it's
that's
incredible.
It is, and that's a top picture. You was like on top of it and took the picture.
I took a bunch from a few different angles. So this one I may have been taking from above. I took some that were from straight on. So to be perfectly honest, I don't remember how I was standing when I took this one.
But it does look like the petals are just in the air,
It does.
just
It sure does.
floating in the air. Yeah.
Depth perception.
Yes, yes.
Good
Yeah,
one.
I was just noticing that same feature, that they look like they're blowing in the wind. I love the way that some of them are in sharper focus than others, so that adds to that effect. I love the arrangement. I love the textures. I both love the moodiness of the deep grays here, but I'd also like to see it brighter. Just I don't know. It's kind of like the night before Christmas meets springtime, or nightmare before Christmas meets springtime. You know, I see these beautiful daisies, and there's also something incredibly somber about it.
But that could be the message.
Is that the message, Amanda?
Say yes.
I did title this one "Loves Me Not," and as you can see, some of the daisies do have missing petals, and those missing petals are not, well, they might be the petals that are on the table, I don't know, but so these daisies are actually dried. I dried them in silica sand some months ago for some additional crafts, and just decided that they deserved a photo shoot. So that leads to some of the sort of somber tone to it, I think, is that, you know, these flowers were not freshly picked and alive to give to a Valentine or anything. They've actually been dead for quite some time. So yeah, that is kind of the aesthetic that I was going for with this one.
Sometimes dead is good.
I sort of see
Anybody in mind?
View. Go ahead. I was going to say, I sort of see an overhead view of fish in a pond with the different styles of water lilies.
Huh?
Amanda, was this light from your like the window?
Nope, it was from I have a stand-up lamp, like LED lamp in my office / craft room / catch-all station / where I tend to take photos when I'm in the house. And so I found the right light balance for it and adjusted it as needed, because it's one of those ones that's got to stand up, and then it has like a smaller hooded lamp that's on an arm that you can adjust. So I just played around with that a little bit.
I like this picture.
I
It's so cute. I
That's
think
5 minutes.
I think we're seeing your style.
Awesome.
Great job, Amanda.
Very
Thank you.
cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice job.
I like it.
Alrighty. Next up, we have Thomas Fleury.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Yes, this is super simple. It's just 3 spoons, the reflection, and it's from the placemat that I eat at in the kitchen. I initially tried it on a tripod. I didn't like it, so I handheld it, and I used a couple $20 LED lights that I put at about a 45-degree angle. And this is something kind of out of my comfort zone. I don't do studio photography. I never have, but I don't know. I just had this vision of this, and I just went for it. And
That's 30
here
seconds.
it is.
Very cool shot.
I like it.
Thomas,
It
when you sent this in, like my interest just like was drawn right to this image.
Stunning.
Yeah, it's great.
Because it looks like the design is on the bottom of the spoon. That's where my eye goes
Mhm.
first.
Yep.
Reflection.
Yeah. Yeah, then you got to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
concept
cool.
is great. I
Yeah.
think the only thing I would advise is to just shift your perspective just a little bit to the side so that like your center line is straight. And I think that would just amplify it
Okay.
a bit.
Yeah, I
Just try and
don't
get
use
symmetry.
I don't use Photoshop and I don't use focus stacking. I just kind of do right out of the camera. I very rarely ever edit any
Mhm.
pictures, so this is direct from the camera.
Very
for
well
you.
done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
I love this image. It's really, really unique, and I'm getting kind of lost in a lot of the details because it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
everywhere. It's beautiful. I know you say you don't do much editing. One thing I would highly recommend on this one is maybe going with a more panorama cropping on this. You get a lot of that foreground there, and then some of the brightest details are in the front there. I think if you did more of like a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 ratio and bring it up a little bit, yeah, come up a little bit higher, right about there. And then pull down the top slightly as well, just a little bit, right about there. And then take a look at that. I think you're gonna get more, might want to add a little bit more of the foreground to that, because really those elements in the spoon are very intriguing. And I like this is beautiful. I like what you did with it.
Thank you.
Wow.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, I thought it was bowls at first instead of spoons because it doesn't look like spoons.
I love the
Fooled
way. Oh, sorry.
Nope, I said fooled you. It
I
is spoons.
I love the way that I can look at those spoons and at once feel that the texture of the placemat is imprinted on the spoons, while at the same time realizing that it is a shiny, polished, reflective surface, and
Yes.
that duality is like pulling me in and out, and I just love that dynamic feel.
Yeah.
I originally did it with some old spoons, and I told my wife, I'm like, if you go to the store, buy some new spoons so they're like never used, and she did. So that's my prop, my expensive prop.
I was going to
Ones
say,
that
the
weren't
dishwasher does a
scratched
better
or
job than
worn.
mine.
So now
Nice
you've
shot.
invested in them, and you need to do a whole series where you play with those.
That's great.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah, you can play them. They become good musical instruments too.
And the macro lens I use is like a cheap off-brand. It's an RF lens for Canon, but it wasn't giving me what I wanted, and so actually that was taken at f/22.
That's okay. When you're doing macro,
Yeah.
F22 is fine.
Wow, very nice.
Wow.
That's a
I love
keeper.
it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Alrighty. Anything else for Thomas?
Good job.
Keep doing it.
Thanks.
Next up, we have Ben Kramer.
Oh.
So I was coming up short on deadline and inspiration on this, and I got my inspiration yesterday morning and started the setup and shooting at like, I don't know, 7 o'clock last night, and I was probably up until 11 o'clock editing. But yeah, I just wanted to play with a couple different aspects of odd.
They're stacked, correct?
Yes.
How did you get the long shadow?
Stacked.
With a taller stack.
Okay, it
Oh.
doesn't yeah, you fooled me. It doesn't look any
Yeah,
taller than the
yeah.
others, but no, that's
You-
awesome.
You have to really
Ooh, that's a
study
good
it
mind.
to see the
There you go.
difference.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ben, what did
To
you
the
use
naked
for
eye,
the,
you wouldn't know.
Ben, what did you use for a background?
Just white craft paper, like poster board style paper.
Yeah.
Clever. Very clever. Simple but clever.
I did have to do a decent amount of digital manipulation to clean up issues that were hard to get right in camera.
Yeah.
Does that include, so if you had the angle of the light different, would you have gotten the ridges from the the coin on the long shadow? So see how all the other ones
No.
has the ridges? That long shadow is smooth.
That because of the nature of the light and the length of the shadow, it would have been impossible, I think, to get the ridges on that shadow. But like as an afterthought, I had considered making like a second stack like hidden in the shadow that might give it the ridges and then cutting those out digitally, but that was a little more cheating than I wanted to do.
I think it's very cool. I definitely did
Cheating in
not know it
art?
was
What are you
more.
talking about?
I didn't know there was more.
Now,
But
what
yeah,
made you
I had
just-
a lot of. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, what made you decide to do the super long shadow on that one when the rest of them, for the most part, are about the same length?
Just to have something not right about it.
Odd.
Adding some tension to it.
Yeah, it works.
Hey,
I
Ben,
considered
I think-
having one of the shadows in a completely different direction. Trying to do that in camera would have been a pain.
So Ben, one thing I'm looking at too, and I like the concept of this. You got rule of odds, you got an even in there, so you're breaking and it's like you're challenging the rules by having an even number but odd number of reds compared to blue, which I think is really unique. One thing I would just say too, I think when you're looking at the actual the chips, I've noticed there's a color cast that's been casted across the white. I'm wondering if that's something you could probably remove in Photoshop too, by doing something like taking some of the color from the poster board and trying to get over it to remove the color cast that's surrounding all of them. You can see the red and then the blue. I wonder if that would actually help to create a little bit more dynamic, make it a little bit more dynamic.
I considered removing some of the color cast. So one of the things about the color cast is there's a lot of color cast coming off of the red into the shadows of the ones next to them. And even some of the blue into the shadow of the red next to it.
Yeah, I see that.
And one of the things I actually had to fix from that tall stack with the long shadow was that the color cast that it was giving off was significantly more intense in the neighboring shadow. So I had to correct that. And it may be hard to see it. Yeah, it may be hard to see it on Zoom, but around the tall stack, opposite side of the shadow, there's actually a lot more of that red color cast spilling onto the white.
Yeah, I see that. It's taller compared to the rest of them, and as you can approach the shadow, you lose some of the color cast, but then you get it back in the shadows, and that would take some significant time to do. I just didn't know if you wanted to end up doing something like that. I would always be interested to see what it would do to the image.
Yeah, I think I had already spent enough time correcting the tall stack and getting things lined up the way I wanted them that, like I said, I think I sent this at like 11 o'clock last night. So
That's 5 minutes.
I think it's
Thank you.
impressive, Ben.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
Very impressive.
Amazing.
Oh, the other aspect of odd is that it's poker chips.
Ah. All right. Great job, Ben.
Thank you.
Yay.
Next up, we have Marla Rosenberry.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
There I am. My name is Roseberry, not Rosenberry.
Oh, my bad.
That's all right. I struggled. This is what I came up with. Some
Great.
old bottles. The middle one is really old. Found it in the backyard, buried. So, and it's just sitting on top of my husband's old dump truck out back.
Scott, do you remember having that type of beverage in the middle?
It says, the bottle says on the back that it's from some place over in Manchester, I think it was.
Huh.
Now,
It's in
did
fairly
you
good shape.
colored water in there, or is that?
It's colored. Yeah, it's colored water.
Yeah, okay. What's the red bottle? What is that?
The bottle itself. My sister-in-law had given us some homemade honey in it. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, the focus is
I,
so
I
sharp,
like
I
to
can
keep, I
actually
like to
read the
keep,
bottle.
yeah, I like to keep the bottles.
Repurposed.
Yeah.
Now, what's the light in the back? Is that just paint on the truck or something?
Well, the truck is really rusty. So, so yes.
It's like a gold flake. It's gold.
Yeah, it does look like gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried multiple times to do these bottles in the snow with the sun shining through them, but every time I went out, the sun went in. So I gave up.
I love the zigzagging angles along with the colors. My eye goes from the bottom and it goes up and across, back across, and then up to the right, but it's also going down on the tops of the bottles, and it just has, there's a lot of action in it, along with the bright colors, and the gold in the back really intensifies the colors in front. It works.
Thank
I
you.
do like the background. It's for a beat up old pickup truck.
did
It's
you-
nice.
Very good.
What did you use for the light? Just
I was just
Just the-
outside, and then I took it into Photoshop just to crop it up, and but that's about it.
One thing
I
that
struggled.
the one thing that my eye keeps going to is the right-hand corner, that little white spot.
Yeah. Just dodge that out.
I don't know if
Crop it out or dodge it out, or
yeah, I don't know. I can't remember where the top of the dump truck, if that's part of the top of the dump truck, or if it's just like the. I
Does it
honestly don't.
snow?
No, I don't think it. I don't think it's snow. It
Okay.
might be just part of the
There.
garage. It's out behind the garage, so it
Better.
may just be. It may
All
just be
better.
catching. Maybe just catching the top of the garage or something.
Oh,
So
better.
what's the white in the left-hand corner? Is that the snow in the back of the truck?
I don't have an answer for you.
that too is a little distracting. That maybe you could have moved them over to the right a little bit
Yeah.
and separated them so it's not touching the white, but it's pretty with the colors. It looks like
Does
glitter.
anybody else have a guess what it might be?
I'd have to go look at the dump truck tomorrow
I would
and
assume it's
see if
snow.
it may have been, but I don't think we've gotten much snow. When I was trying to take them in the snow, it was only like maybe 2 inches of snow in the backyard. So
It was
I'd have to
warm.
look
See
at
the
the dump truck
reflections of
tomorrow and
people
see,
in blue
put the
light.
bottles back on there and see if I can mimic it and see what that white is from.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice picture. I like the colors.
The colors and the shapes and just the way you got them placed there makes it beautiful, even though it's just old bottles, you know?
Yeah,
But, yeah.
Now, did you enhance the color of the bottles?
No.
Or is that the color
Nope.
that's in the bottle?
That's the color that's in the bottles.
Okay.
Nice choices for colors, and I love all the leading lines that are coming into the bottles, and then the vertical lines, the horizontal lines. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Good job.
Anything else for Marla?
Keep being creative.
Absolutely. All right. Next one.
Oh,
Man.
Oh, cool.
This one is mine.
Very nice.
I was inspired. Somebody in our club, Chris Lutton, posted something on our Facebook page, talking about, I think, architectural minimalism, and he had some striking, very simple pictures of mid to like 1930s, 1920s, 1940s architecture in what appeared to be Miami Beach with palm trees and so I'm trying to go for that aesthetic. But doing it with colonial stuff in Chester, New Hampshire.
37.
That's cool.
It doesn't quite have the dynamic effect. The colors are, it doesn't have the pastels to work with. I was torn about the naked sky, and I went back and looked at Chris's stuff, and his skies are naked, or pretty much. So it's like it goes for that minimalist aesthetic. I know that some photographers, make the sign of universal protection if they see a naked sky. So anyhow, it was there. I drive past this at regular intervals, and I've always been intrigued by Georgian architecture. I grew up in an area where there were a lot of examples. My parents took me to see them, and I didn't feel like I was being dragged at age 8 to go to colonial houses. So I just always have this reverence for old stuff.
Is this a handheld camera or a tripod?
Handheld, fairly fast shutter speed, very bright sunlight. And I forget what the specs were, but it was f8 or smaller for the aperture.
I love that there is tree reflection in that center window.
Yes.
All three of the windows.
Yeah,
There's
that's
not
a happy
three.
accident.
I was going to say it's very intriguing because you have the 3 windows with trees for reflection, but you also have shadow on the right side of the roof from the trees. It's like,
Oh yeah, from
wow.
one, yeah, the tree,
Yeah,
the tree
yeah.
over my right shoulder as I'm photographing this. Yeah, I would have liked to have shot this a little earlier in the day, and I live close enough to this that there's no excuse for not going back on one of the sunny, cloudless days that we had last week to reshoot it. But I didn't.
What time of day was this?
Probably 2:30 in the afternoon, 2:30, 3 o'clock. So the
Okay.
sun's just beginning to drop a little bit. Yeah, I might work with this concept and try to get it again in bright sunlight, but I don't know. Anyhow, play with it. I did have to. Now, I come from a photojournalism. Shut me up when it's my 30 seconds are gone. I come from a photojournalistic background where the idea of taking stuff out of the picture is very hard for me to do. But I did take away. I erased in Photoshop some branches, small branches and shadows off the chimney to the left. And this is sort of a play. I've got 3 windows, but there are 5 objects. It's the 2 chimneys plus the 3 windows. So
yeah,
forget that it's 2 chimneys. It's 5 objects in the image.
What
Okay,
about
we have about 90 seconds left if you want to get some feedback.
what about over there on that left tower where it looks like a little cannonball hit it or something? You didn't want to take that out of there?
I didn't notice it until you just pointed it out to me.
Thing there. It's like looks
It
like
would be on the right one too.
Yeah, well, that's my photojournalist. That's the way it looked.
Yeah.
I gotta leave a certain amount of it as it is.
Yeah, the
I
right
think
one doesn't bother me, but that go over there. Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
He means this.
Yeah,
It's
I like it.
character.
exactly. This thing is 200 years old. It's got lots of character.
Good job.
I really like the composition of this one.
Thank you.
One thing I think I would help you a little bit. A polarizing filter would help control the reflections on that left window where you have a lot of really brightness. I think that might have brought that down a little bit and given you more of the trees. And Jacob, put in black and white real quick. I'd like to see what that looks like.
Oh yeah.
I do like the naked sky, the bare sky.
Now, is there anything in the windows that looks like this plastic or I don't know, no curtains or anything? I see
Shadows from the
something in the glass.
That's
I'll
good.
go back and check it and report to you at the next meeting. Oh, I like what you just did to
Look
that.
at
I like the
that.
dark in the sky. And if with a polarizing filter on that, I probably could have hit that tonality in the camera.
And that was 5 minutes too.
Okay, bye.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like
That's
the black
cool.
and white.
Very nice.
All
You guys are
righty,
doing so
next
great
up.
with the time tonight.
What, Moni?
You guys are doing so great with the time.
Next up, we have Reed Cooper.
Okay.
Ooh.
So this is a part of the window display in Deadwick's downtown Portsmouth. Deadwick's Ethereal Emporium. They have all sorts of love potions inside. So I just call this one love potion number 9. For those of you old enough to remember that song,
Yep.
I talked to the people inside about what is in these bottles. I think that's lavender buds in the jar on the right, and maybe lavender oil in the middle. They think the one on the left is just food coloring for effect. They had people working there had no idea what was in the bottle on the left. But anyway, I
Poison.
thought it was cool, so I played with it a little bit, and there it is.
I like it.
Has anyone ever walked around inside of that emporium?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
It's wild.
Man, there are so many cool things in there you could take pictures of if there was any space.
That's right. You
When-
probably usually don't have enough space to pull your camera out of your pocket in that place.
Not without knocking over something that looks very expensive.
Yeah.
What's the place called?
It's Deadwick's Ethereal Emporium.
It's right in downtown Portsmouth by Prescott Park. They have all sorts of like animal skulls and different types of stones and stuff, all sorts of fun things you could use for props.
Stones have different powers for different things, as do their herbal, all sorts of herbal remedies for different ailments and different things that you want to do in life.
If you're trying to find it, it's on Sheaf Street.
Yeah.
That might be a good field trip for a couple of people to go in and just each of them find something that intrigues them and take a picture.
You'd have to ask
Shifts.
ask permission, because I think they have a sign on the door saying no photography.
Oh.
This was in their outside window, so heck with them.
Okay, well, if you're outside, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
inside,
Okay.
I don't think that would fly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've known some people that worked at the Deadwicks and Pickwicks, and they have had problems with people basically scouting their stores and basically offering up the same kind of stuff at other stores, ripping them off effectively, which is why they have that policy.
Mm-hmm.
Can't blame them.
So anyway, I went with going with the rule of odds. I got the odd number 3, but also they have different colors. There are different volumes in each of these bottles, different content.
Different covers.
Sorry?
Different covers.
Oh yeah, different covers. And there is another jar off to the left, but I just kind of faded that out, so it didn't matter.
I would like to see this rotated just a little bit so that that center bottle is, the axis of it is vertical. Yeah, right about there.
No, it's not even with the right margin though.
Crop it in a little bit on that side.
On the
Maybe even a little bit
side?
from the bottom too.
Wow.
I like the condensation in the bottles.
Especially the one in the middle. That's just beautiful all by itself.
Yeah.
That's wall art.
Because you figure if they're in the window, the store window, they get the sun at certain times of day. So
Yeah, I thought about taking the reflection out, but then I decided to actually intensify it. I like the reflection in the 3 bottles. You can see more of the window in the green on the left with the sun. You can just see the sun in the base outline in the center one, but I liked the reflection and left it there intentionally. I almost took it out, but then decided not to.
yeah, no, yeah. Now, what's in the bottom of the yellow bottle?
Wonderful question. I have no idea. Like I said, the people inside didn't seem to know much about what was in the window.
Ah. Interesting.
But I'm pretty sure what's in the right bottle is the dandelion, or sorry, lavender buds.
Okay, because you
And I
saw
think
purple
that's
in there.
lavender. From what I've seen on the internet and just trying to look up some of these things and try to find out, I think that's lavender oil in the center. But the one on the left, I think that's just green food coloring. I have no idea, unless it's creme de menthe.
That's 5 minutes.
Good one.
Now it makes me want to go down to that store and look around just
Do
to
it.
see.
You'll enjoy it.
Well done,
I'm
Reed.
sure.
Well done.
Cool, thanks.
Hey, Simmons, Reed.
Alrighty, next up we have Chris Morse.
Cool.
Very pretty.
We've been busy cleaning out my dad's house and I'm coming across all this old china that my mom has, and I just love this set. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but there's so much. I was going to add a vignette around the edge, which I think would have helped, and that was natural light.
So you just kind of just took the picture.
Is that a vase in the back?
No, it's another teacup.
Oh my God, it's so pretty. It follows suit.
It's almost like a tea mug, if I remember correctly. It's taller than the cup. Yeah.
What was this sitting on, a table?
Counter.
Oh, a counter, because I see blue. Looks
Mhm.
like blue, the
Yes.
right-hand corner.
It's okay. It goes with the blue and the
Yeah.
And the pattern.
the
Mhm.
China.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pulls it out more.
It's in good shape.
Yes, I don't think it got a lot of use. I think it spent a lot of time in the cabinet.
That's sad.
I like the way that you've stacked everything. It's very pretty.
Thank you.
It feels like it's tipping, like there's some tension in it. Like part of me is like, how is it balanced?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of goes off to the right a little bit, the saucer and the cup. And it shows more of the bottom of the inside of the plate.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
And Jacob, can you take out just those two little spots on the bottom plate?
Yep. And where was the
And
other
then
one?
there was one on the left, yeah.
There's another one on the teacup handle.
Right here.
What is it? Like an age spot? How old do you think these are?
Probably around 40 years old.
Are they English?
I believe they are.
They look English.
This
Those
is,
might be spots on the sensor.
I think they were on the plate
On the,
itself.
on the china, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
A little discoloration or something?
an imperfection.
Yeah, okay.
Undocumented feature.
Either that or they're just schmutz that got on them when you were moving them around.
I like it because
I like it how you got the flour on the inside of the cup.
It's like when you're having a cup of tea, and I don't drink tea. My mom was the tea drinker, but it's like a surprise when you get to that level. And if I remember right, there might be one right on the bottom.
Cool.
Now, did you do that on purpose? Did you say, okay, I want to get that little flour on the inside? And
Absolutely.
you took it?
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah.
a bourbon glass.
Nice job, Chris.
Thank you.
I like it. Good
Very
job.
nice.
Very nice.
I like all the little details on the cup.
5
The sauce.
minutes.
Great job, Chris.
All right.
Lovely.
And next up, we have Marianne.
Don't ask me what I was doing. I was getting ready to leave this morning and I threw my grandchild's blocks on the table and because
Hey, it
I'm
worked.
new to this, but I like the shadows.
Yeah.
And I just took a picture from looking down from the top and it's on a like a white table.
Cool.
I just joined the club 2 weeks ago and I'm learning.
Good job.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
I'm excited.
I like
What
how
did you
the
have for lighting?
What did I have for lighting?
Yeah.
It's on my kitchen table. I turned the light off overhead, and that's from where my other part of my kitchen is, the ceiling light. And it's a fluorescent light that shadowing, you know.
Okay.
Cool.
If she likes the shadows, what would that look like in black and white?
Yeah.
Well, I like it colored for some reason. Because there's a lot of different colors. What's other people's opinion? Do they like it black and white?
Both.
Yep.
It was just a question where you said you like the shadows. Black and
Right.
white might make the shadows stand out, but if you like the colors, you're the artist, so you need to do what you
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
So it's where you get to make a choice of what you want to be the attention. With the
It
nature of
seems
these
like when I
blocks,
take. Go ahead.
because you've got, a lot of neutral colors and then a smattering of the reds and that yellow, those are going to draw the attention. So if you want to convey, the interest in the shadows, then it may be worth switching it to black and white so that the color is not a factor drawing attention elsewhere.
Okay, I see. I see.
Like if
For
you
some
did it
reason, when I take
monochrome-
pictures, I go for color.
This is also the kind of photo that you could rotate 4 times and get 4 totally different looks out of it.
Views. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where you would want to apply some ideals of leading lines where the eye tends to enter a frame. If I recall, it's the upper left, and you can arrange things in such a way that you draw the attention of the eye from where it starts, typically into like a specific spot onto a certain block. All sorts of decisions you could make there with your framing and location of things.
Because I kind of just threw them down, but the bottom one with the hole in it, I didn't like where it was, so I moved it out more. But
Yeah.
other than that, I didn't play with them.
Did you realize that you have 3 letters, 3 animals, and 3 blocks with holes?
I do. That's cool.
In the
Well,
odd
that's
one.
weird.
The odd
I don't know.
That's
I think
weird.
that red block has a hole in it.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
there's 4.
yeah, but it's not obvious compared to the others.
And the
Yeah.
number 3.
The number 3.
There's actually 5 because the monkey has one also, or whatever that is. Teddy bear.
Monkey.
The teddy.
Teddy bear. Sorry.
Monkey.
What
main
is
monkey.
what is the backdrop?
So there's
Pardon me?
actually 5.
What is the backdrop of
That's
the
okay.
photo?
Did somebody ask what the backdrop was?
Yes.
It's just my kitchen table. I just threw them on my kitchen table. It's white. It was like an off-white.
Well, by chance, you did a good job.
Well, to tell you the truth, not a lot of thought went into I just went in my grandson's room and grabbed him and put him on the table.
There you go. You never know. You did good.
No,
Good
thank
job.
you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Mm.
All righty. Next up, we have Beth's.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did
Like
that.
fireballs.
Yeah, that's me. So I had 3 candles, 5 fireballs, and Frosty the Snowman in the back.
Where'd you find the fireballs?
I have giant things of them.
Well, then you got to bring some to the meetings.
Wait a minute.
Oh, she's going to show us. Ah,
I love the fireballs with the candles in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Is it
No.
reflecting?
No, it's getting green screened out.
Oh, I'm sorry. But there's 4 pounds.
That's a lot of fireballs.
so you must eat them a lot.
There you go. That's the whole
Do you
container.
eat them a lot?
I do.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Now, did Frosty just happen to be in the background, or did you put him there on purpose?
I put them there on purpose just because I'm weird.
Well, it's odd that you have the heat and then you have the cold of Frosty.
Yeah.
The candles are going to melt him.
I'm just abnormal. Well, the 2 stirrups with the cauldrons hanging, those are just tea lights, battery ones.
Oh,
But
really?
I lit the one in the middle. The Yankee candle is lit.
Now, what's on the bottom for the base there that the
It's like
that
a
they're
table
on?
runner. Table runner. A Christmas table runner.
Okay.
My eye keeps getting distracted by
And
that
did you-
tic tac looking thing on the bottom right.
Yeah.
What is that? A piece of lint or something?
Probably. I don't know.
But I do like the way the foreground's blurred.
So did you notice that the fireballs on the left are double balls in the same package?
I did. I did.
Twins.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So I did it today.
Now, did you turn the real candle on purpose so the label was on the side and
Yeah.
not in the middle?
Yep. Yep. I wanted a little bit of the light from the candle to come through
Yep. Yep.
for what it was worth.
How long had that candle been burning? Was there any melted wax in it? You know how sometimes burns for you can burn it for hours and there's the liquid on
No,
top.
I didn't. I think it was probably only burning like 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So there's
The
no
Yankee
liquid.
candle said there won't be a lot of wax in it.
Oh, now
It lasts forever.
I can see the tea light over on the right side, how it is a
Those are
tea
just
light.
battery ones. So I have
Okay.
horses. So those are actually stirrups that have these
Oh, really?
little cauldrons hanging from them. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Is that straight or is it tipped to the right?
Is what?
If there were a horizon line, is that level?
You mean the candle horizon line?
I think so. The candles in the stirrups are not level.
No, the edge of the Yankee candle.
I don't know. Can't tell.
It could be the way I'm sitting, but it looks like it's tipping to the right.
That may be my vertigo. Don't laugh. I have no vestibular nerve, so I have no balance.
Oh. Oh.
Anyway, it's just something that I whipped up and I thought color, 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 and light.
I
That's
love the
what I
bright
did.
color. Yeah.
I just threw it together.
Yep. Yep. Spur of the moment.
Fireballs, is that odd for there to be two in one pack? Is it mispackaged or what?
Well, I don't very often have 2 in 1 package. This probably happens twice in every 4 pounds.
Yeah, did you?
That's 5 minutes.
Did you pick
on that
those out?
one?
Did you pick those out intentionally and put those in there? Or
I grabbed them out of the bucket.
Oh.
And that's what I got.
Cool.
Great job, Beth.
Oh, thanks. Spur of the moment.
And next up, we have Bob Levins.
So this is just some candles with tea lights in them on a red backdrop. Shot during the middle of the day, so I was just playing around with exposure, long exposures. The room's not real dark, but I was able to, just by playing with exposures and ISO, to get that black background look on it.
Giving Halloween vibes.
Yep.
Very peaceful.
I love the softness of it. It's beautiful.
Serene.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm another one
Surrender.
who's seeing jack-o'-lanterns there. I think that's very cool.
Love the warmth of it. It's just, I don't know, it's perfect, simple.
Warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very warm colors. I like it.
Meditative.
I like that all three on in focus.
Yeah, I played around the depth of field because I probably shot like 20 or 30 of them, playing around with the depth of field and spacing.
Cool.
Very nice.
So what did
how
the other
big are
ones?
the candles, the glasses?
I'm sorry, what?
How big are the glass candles? Are they small,
They're small.
medium? Or
They're small.
I mean,
So-
if I were to be very picky about it, the only thing I would have done differently is move the image on the right over just to give the equal space between the center and the one on the left. But
But it's
like,
odd.
Mm-hmm.
that's true too. But it's beautiful.
Yes. Can I ask how the other pictures came out?
I just played around with different angles, and it was just a toss up of, I shot from a little higher up, because this shot is basically at tabletop level.
Is this another one we should crop and take out a lot of the space at the top? Make it more panoramic? Or just leave it with this space at the top?
Right.
And I think the space at the top gives it a sense of depth.
Oh, we're almost rule of thirds. Oh, rule of thirds. Oh, that's nice too.
I like
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you use to originally edit this? And did you play with the colors and the exposure and stuff, or no?
I used Lightroom for this one. I didn't have to do anything with the colors. Brought down the shadows a little bit, brought down the highlights a little bit, but not much editing at all.
I like the reflections in the red. What did you use as like is it like a felt material?
No, it's a maroon, just some polyester cotton blend.
Yep. Yeah, I love the reflections in in that.
Ooh. Yeah.
Very nice.
Now,
color.
did you move the candles around? Because I noticed the little ties on them are almost in the same angle and the same spot.
So when I move them, I reposition them so they'd be symmetrical.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
But the three are at different depths. I mean, the back two are not at the same depth, are they?
Correct. There.
I kind of like the difference in space between the two of them. I think it kind of adds to the tension as well as the difference in the depth, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one, Reed.
I think it just made it more odd.
Finally, finally.
And that's 5 minutes.
Well done.
Awesome
Nice.
job, Bob.
Thank you. Great picture.
And last but not least, Mr. Thorpe.
Cool.
I like that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have anything until I got home today, so I said, I gotta go for a walk. So I walked out back, walked past the clothesline. I said, well, it's a nice day for a walk in the woods. About 15 minutes later, I didn't have anything, so I just came back home and shot the clothesline.
Cool shot.
See,
like
that's
So that's
fun.
that's f11 30th of a second, ISO 1250, 200 millimeter. And the reason I did f11 was to get all three of the pins, in focus, but the background was a little bit in focus, so I had to go into Lightroom and just blur it a little bit.
You got some bokeh in there.
Did you place the clothespins like that, or is that how they were laying on the
No,
line?
there's probably 100 clothespins on the line, so I just spun the pole around until I, found a nice set.
I think that's kind
cool.
of begging for a black and white as well, but that's just me.
I looked at it black and white, but then I like the orange and but it,
Yeah.
The rust,
either way.
the rust is
rust
kind
is
of
nice.
nice at the hinge too.
Colors
Scott,
are
when you
very
did
subdued. Sorry.
when you did the blur in Lightroom, did you use the new blur feature, or did you just mask and
I
already?
selected the object and then inversed it so
Okay.
that I got the background, and then I just played with the clarity. If you should be able to do it again if you want to do it, but
I really like the way in the background there is a diagonal line that echoes the imagined clothesline. I mean, it's almost as if it's casting a shadow on the background, and I just love the repetition of the pattern.
Gorgeous.
Well, your eye certainly goes right to it.
Yes.
There's no getting away from it.
Awesome
job,
Rust,
thanks.
Yeah, that's really
the
good.
rust on the pin there. Yeah.
I also tried to put in the upper third.
I like the
Scott?
composition choice.
Scott, you said that you like the rust colors, the browns.
Yeah.
Did you try a sepia tone on it instead of a black and
No, I didn't, but if Jacob wants to, he can.
Sure, we can give it a shot. All right. Let's see. See if I can remember how to do a sepia tone.
You don't have
Go into
Ooh.
That's the thing with something like this. You can do so many different versions of it.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm not
I
too
feel
familiar.
like setting it to monochrome and that'll give you an option for it, I think. Somewhere.
Browse, maybe.
Yeah, stay in there. Go down to go into the black and white. It might be under the black and white in the sepia.
Probably under artistic.
Yeah.
or vintage?
One of them.
Yeah, I would wonder about vintage. No.
Try vintage.
Vintage. Let me try one more thing.
It doesn't look bad in black and white, Scott.
I do like
Yeah,
the patina
I
of
liked
the
it both
rust,
ways.
though.
Me too. I like the rust in it.
Yeah, I
the
like
black
it in
and
the
white,
color.
you
I like
mix it.
Yeah, the color is better.
Oh, look at that. Well, I think I like black and white better than this.
I like the original, the way the color ends and everything, and then your background was more or less monochrome anyway, and it just made that whole thing stand out.
Is that close considered cover?
Old school. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yep, that's 5 minutes too.
Nice shot, Scott.
I love it.
How far away
Oh, that
were
was
you
an
from it?
amazing critique. What a great night, guys. 16 solid images.
This was
Thank
fun.
you for participating and taking a risk and putting your work out there for people to get feedback on. I got some great feedback. I feel great. And I know I heard some people saying they were getting some creative ideas. So please take what you've learned tonight and apply it and try out some strategies. Post your pictures again on Facebook if you want additional feedback after the critique tonight. Like, oh, I heard you say I should try this, and I did. So here's some additional feedback we could give you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
very informative.
Like I usually do. Yeah.
Now, do you usually do this once a month? Have people submit a picture?
Yep.
Oh, good. And who picks the theme?
You'll be getting an email that will explain it all to you.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Night all.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.